Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will say in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to figure out. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. And let me go ahead and say some hellos. Hey, Aries Girl Podcast. Thank you so much for being here, sis. Hey, Mama B's my moderator. Thank you so much for being here. And they let me know that you can hear me. Hey, Teresa Wilson. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, guys. Got a little thrown out there. I usually don't have any technical difficulties, but um, so we got a lot to talk about today. Um, So let's go ahead and get started. Let me see what I want to start with. Um, Give me 1 second, guys. I'm a little behind today, but I did not want to miss out on the opportunity to go live on today. So the Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is going to be Toni Braxton and her husband, Birdman. And not sure if you guys heard this, but apparently he's been seeing Kamora Lee for quite some time. Okay, so shout out to Tisa Tales because that's where I heard it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into what Tisa Tales had to say. And I'm only going to play the audio because, yes, I'm just going to play the audio. Divorce about 2 weeks later, but then they decide to stay together and work it out. Well, baby, we think we found out who and what that was about. And you're never going to guess. Unless you read the title, then you already guessed. Girl, Kamora Lee Simmons. Kamora Lee Simmons and Birdman and Toni, baby, they are calling this a low self-esteem triangle. My sources came out and gave me. Did y'all hear that? Again, select a low self-esteem triangle because Kamora Lee, she's kind of played out, Toni Braxton, she still has it going on, but at the same time, her sisters, they all have very low self-esteem. So, like she said, they're calling this the low self-esteem triangle. Birdman. Now, I was asking everybody, how much does Birdman have? Because you are funding Toni's lifestyle. She'll look the other way. You're funding Kamora Lee's lifestyle. And this is what they said. Yo, remember that $100 million contract that happened with Cash Money? Lil Wayne was supposed to get 50% of it. However, Birdman took Lil Wayne's profits. You know, he did something funny with
Drake stuff. Remember how Kendrick was like, show me your splits, to split with my splits, and you signed to a ninja that signed to a ninja, right? So he got some of Drake's money. The early Drake, the Drake that keeps making us wave our hands and dance. He got some of Nicki's money. He got definitely all the Cash Money's money.
So it sounds like Birdman got a lot of money. Now, I don't know if you guys seen when he was on somebody's stage. I don't think he was performing, but he was almost about to fall over. Like, I don't know what this guy is on, but he looked like he was out of there. Okay, let's continue.
And he got Lil Wayne's money. So what does that mean to you? He's rolling in money. Now and again, I said, okay, but all money ain't good money. So listen to what happened on the wedding day. And then we're going to get into the related blind items and also the multiple media stories that's been all over. Okay. So they said, right? They said that on the day of the wedding, Birdman arrived late and told Tony to her face that he had to leave and take care of something. Listen, mind you, he came into the wedding.
I got to make sure y'all heard that. On the wedding day, Birdman told Tony he got to leave and take care of something. This is too funny. I cannot stop laughing because I know that Tony is not going out like this. And Eric's girl said it has to be the money because the face tattoos are team too much. Yuck. Exactly.
On that dumb stuff. He came in being like, yo, come on, let's do this. But I gotta leave and take care of something quick. I wasn't there. It sounds on brand. And then they said he flew out to help Kimora, who he is also funding. And that's what he told Tony to her face after they got married. So she was standing there waiting for hours.
I wish a nigga would tell me he got to go help somebody on my wedding day.
To get married.
You cannot make this stuff up.
Take care. I gotta go help Kimora. And then as soon as that happened, he flew out of there to go help Kimora. Girl, I know. He literally, after he married her, left her at the altar. But here's the real gag, right? Why did Tony go along? Well, this is why Tony followed 2 weeks, because here's the thing. They're saying after they got married and put my ear to the street, Kimora was trying to flex. She was trying to let Tony know he's my man and he's always going to be. Well, he might always be your man, but you were still not his wife. But that said, Kimora might be like, I ain't marrying that mofo. Because at the end of the day, Kimora was allegedly seeing Birdman after her divorce from Russell Simmons, and she secretly got married to Tim Lesnar because even though Birdman was funding her lifestyle back then or supporting it, Tim was the big fish they have. They're saying that they don't know if Kimora's in love and she could never change the relationship from,
I hate to say this, but I agree. Kimora is not going to be out public with a relationship with what's this man name? I can't even think of his name, and I'm looking at his face. Y'all help me out here. Birdman. Oh my gosh. Like she is not going to be seen out in public because even though Kimora has aged and she doesn't look as good as she used to, she has class, some sort of class to herself. And I can't see her being out, in the open dating Birdman. On the other hand, Tony is tired of struggling. She has low self-esteem. She has to pretty much take care of her entire family. So she want that money. Thank you, Teresa. Birdman. I'm looking at him and I couldn't even think of his name because he's not nobody on my radar. But this was just too funny not to share. Plus, I talked about him and Tony Braxton the other day. So I wanted to give you guys an update because I can't even believe that this man is still able to even get this caliber of woman. But I guess the money is what's doing it for these ladies. So, hey, I guess they got to do what they got to do.
Funding on the side to the number one funding, or if she just wants a certain type of man on her arm that got money, Birdman is just her dirty little secret. I know. Listen, They said this is, and the timing is really weird because this was at the beginning of the Diddy stuff, okay? Birdman didn't even try to apologize for leaving for that wedding.
It's the money, Aries girl.
Now, listen, let me read y'all the blind item I found about this, and then I'm going to read you the related articles that were printed in 2012, 13, 14, 15, and 16 that co-signs all this. I
Put a 1 in the chat if it was on your radar and you knew that Birdman was low-key seeing Kimora Lee Simmons. Put a 1 in the chat if you knew that Birdman was seeing Kimora Lee Simmons.
tea. Thank you so much, Mama, for dropping this tea in my lap. You know I appreciate it. Shout out to the realest and the illest. Oh, here's the related blind item. All right, y'all ready for this? A bride, a jet, and the billionaire's bills. She stood there in white, heart racing and heels clicking against the marble floor. But he was late, and not fashionably late, just disrespectfully, right? The word is the groom, a reclusive hip hop mogul with a history of leaning harder than a Dr. Seuss character, Brian looking like he crawled out of a tour bus crash and mumbled something about having to take care of something real quick. Now, again, that whole leaning her, I think that's Birdman, because don't forget he was pictured on stage at some Cash Money reunion court, so literally leaning on stage.
Leaning on stage.
Okay.
That sounds like that lean.
Married, right? What's something you ask? A certain baby fat original who used to rule the runways and red carpets before her empire crumbles under tax liens and tuition bills. That too. He literally, just hours after ghosting his bride, and flew straight into the arms and bills of the fashion icon turned full-time fun seeker. Because let's face it,
he probably did Tony a favor, because imagine spending your wedding night with that dude.
No one else is willing to bankroll her legacy heiress lifestyle anymore. She's got an Ivy League daughter with yacht girl resumes and bills that make Dubai royals wince. But there's only one man, dumb, loyal, and dusty enough to step up to the plate. The same one who's allegedly sleeping on stages now and losing the plot.
Not sleeping on stages.
Week. And the bride, baby, she's saying nothing, because she too cashes those same checks. Meanwhile, the daughter, a once promising scholar, has been spotted looking very, uncle introduced me to this life.
Aoki
introduced me to this life on Caribbean vacations with questionable characters old enough to be her grandfather. People close to the scene say it's a vicious cycle. Old money, new tricks, no shame. So while most of us were side-eyeing the headlines about fallen moguls and unsettled lawsuits, this triangle was playing out behind closed doors, funded by one man, tolerated by both women, and dragging the next generation into the same sinking ship. What?
Oh my God. Like, I see where Aoki get it from. Like, her mom, she gonna be, you know what I'm saying, a gold digger till she die. And Aries girl said, did the honeymoon suite come equipped with a paper bag to cover his face, asking for a friend? That part. Hey, Sharon Gottbalt, thank you so much for being here. Did you guys get a chance to watch the Nene Leakes show when she interviewed Latasha Scott? Let me take this off. It was a really good interview. Nene is starting to, come into her own. She's always wanted to be, have a talk show like I'm forgetting everybody's names, like Wendy Williams. And Mama B says yes. It was a great interview. Latasha still didn't reveal anything new. She's obviously still feuding with her sisters. They still have not let her come back to the group. She says that she's no longer with her husband, but I don't believe her. I believe she's still with her husband, allegedly, and in my own opinion, because when it first came out, when she did the Chris Brown challenge, it came out that she had been separated, or, her and her husband hadn't been together for 2 years. Now she tried to play it off and say when she did the challenge, she wasn't just talking about her husband. She led us to believe that she was also talking about the group Escape. Which one is it? Are you referring to your husband in your relationship, or are you talking about your group Escape? Like, why try to mix up the two to try to confuse everybody? Like, I would want to make it clear that I am no longer with my cheating husband. Let's just start there. Like, the girls, that can always be resolved. I feel like at some point it will be resolved, but you need to make it clear to the public, because we have watched this man just tarnish your name, tarnish your brand, and just be a dog ass cheating husband. So we want to confirm, and we want to make sure that you're no longer with this man. But I believe she's still with this man. And Sharon says, I think she's lying. I believe she's still with that bum. You too, Sharon. She did not sound very convincing. She sounded like she's still lying. And at the end of the day, it's just like nobody wants to be around her, because it's just giving very low self-esteem, kind of like the Braxtons. It's giving very low self-esteem, and nobody wants to be around that. He has done something to every one of, not so much Tiny, but he did something to Candy, one of her group members. He did something to her sister. Like, they don't want to be around your husband. He needs to be gone. Maybe after you truly get rid of your husband, everybody will forgive you, but not as long as Rocky is around. And Aries Girl said, the toxic Scott is going to change up the story to whatever suits her current lies. Exactly. Like, I thought she was going to come out, you know, say something that would make us have some sympathy for her and want, the ladies to put her back in the group. But for me, she didn't do that. She just made it even more clear why they don't want to have nothing to do with you. Hey, Cece, thank you so much for being here, sis. And Sharon said her and her husband are users. Yes, I still cannot believe that she stole her sister's money behind her back. And it wasn't, you know, the fact that she stole the money. Then I believe her husband tried to blackmail her sister with revenge P. Like, he is the lowest of the low. She said that he doesn't have a baby. I'm not convinced. you know, Whether he got a baby or not, he had a side chick. We're sure of that, okay? And multiple side chicks at that. So she really needs to leave this man alone. He is just not good for her, and he's not good for her soul. But overall, it was a good interview. For a minute there, I thought she was getting ready to snap off on Nene, because all Nene said was maybe she just needs some space. And she was just like, but we're family. That's my sister. Okay, I got sisters. I need space sometimes. Like, what does that matter? Because that's her sister. Like, sometimes you just need to part ways so that you can just have time to just really think on the situation and decide how you want to move forward. Because, I mean, you did some things to your sister. Obviously, yeah, you want to move on, because, you're not the victim in this situation. So, yeah. But Latasha does look good. She's vegan. I want to say she's vegan. She has lost a lot of weight, and she really does look good. Now, speaking of lost a lot of weight and looks good, have y'all seen what's her name? Sherry Shepherd these days? Sherry Shepherd is looking so good. I believe she lost about 46 pounds. She did it because, obviously, for aesthetic purposes, but also diabetes running her family. So she wanted to get healthy. I seen a TikTok video of her doing widows fans at dance. So she looks really good. Obviously her show won't be back until the fall, but she's still out here living her best life, Sherry Shepherd. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Just in case you guys haven't seen Cherry, go to her Instagram and check her out. She looks like a completely different person. Maybe she can get a man because she was on there um, begging, what's his name? The comedian, Cat Williams, for a hug. And she said she's always had a crush on Cat Williams. So maybe now she can get a date because she is looking amazing. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, Nene. Now, initially, she had came out and put Kenya on blast for something that Kenya said about her years ago, whenever she left the show. Okay. But then she came out on the same, her show, and she gave Kenya her props for and said that the show needs Kenya. So I don't know which one is it. I don't know if she has beef with Kenya or she just wants to be in the mess because she does have her show. So I think she just wants something to talk about because I can't figure out if she's beefing with Kenya or she's cool with Kenya. Okay. Because one day she comes out and low key throws shade at Kenya, but then she said that they need her on the show. So whatever. Everybody's flip flopping. And when it comes to all of the ladies starting this YouTube journey, um, I think they all need money, to be honest. I think they're all doing it because they low key need the bag. Okay. So whatever works, if YouTube works, but I will be watching Kenya's YouTube channel on Friday when she's supposed to drop the tea. And Cece said they all blow with the wind. Okay. Will y'all be watching when Kenya goes live on her YouTube channel on Friday at 8 o'clock? Are y'all excited to hear what she has to say about this whole situation with Britt Edie and whatever else she wants to talk about? I'm here for it because I believe Kenya is going to reveal something that none of us know. So I'm ready for the tea. Hopefully, she comes with something that we've never heard because I'm tired of, just the recycled tea. So hopefully, she makes it worth our while. And Sharon says, I'll definitely be watching Kenya. And Cece said, of the Real Housewives of Atlanta ladies with channels, Porsha has been the most entertaining to me. I'm gonna be honest. Can't watch Porsha. I can watch a little bit of it, but Porsha starts to get annoying. And then it just seems like she keeps reposting the same videos. I don't know. I'm gonna give her another chance, but I haven't been able to get into Porsha. I was able to watch Nene Leakes interview with Latasha. I enjoyed it. I know I'll enjoy Kenya, but I'm not really enjoying Porsha. And Aries Girl says, I'm here for it as well. And wait a minute, I forgot to read the rest of your she says, but why is she eating on her couch like that? Oh my God, when she wasted that drink she had and didn't act like it was no big deal, like Portia is looking like she's a slob. Why is she eating all of this food? Like she's doing these churches chicken commercials. Like, does she have a deal with churches chicken? Why is she promoting churches nasty ass chicken? I don't know. I prefer Popeyes. I can do without churches. And then all of this seafood with red sauce. Girl, you finna be, she finna be big back in a minute because she's doing a little much with all of the food. Like, really, Portia, you came to YouTube to do mukbangs of all things. Just give us the tea. We don't want to see the food. Just give us the tea. And Cece said, I plan on watching Kenya's confessional. And Mama B says, not really. I am over the whole mess. I will stop by and watch. I think I'm the most excited to hear what Kenya has to say because she's not on the show anymore. So now she can say whatever she want to say and she can call everybody out. And I already know she getting ready to call Britt out on the live. So I am excited to hear what she got to say about Britt because Britt is looking like a whole scammer out here, and I don't know how she was able to get on this show. Okay. I believe, like, why would she be trying to teach classes for insurance agents if she's not even licensed? It's like a whole scam. It doesn't make sense. So I truly believe that she did lose her insurance license because of some type of insurance fraud. Because otherwise, she would be in a whole new industry, in my opinion. Now that she no longer has a license. And Cece said, I would have a whole tea party set up with hot tea and cute pastries surrounding me. They need to employ us. Hmm. Okay. I'm not really understanding that, Cece. What do you mean by they need to employ us? Are you saying that she should have cute stuff and not all that heavy food? And Aries girl said, it doesn't seem like they fully vetted Brit Edie at all because it seems like her insurance business is a scam because she doesn't have license. There might be something going on with that ring she got, and I'm hoping that Kenya drops the tea on that. There might be something going on with her husband. Like, I hope Kenya drops all the tea because at this point she really has nothing to lose because I feel like Andy put the nail in the coffin when he talked about her on that interview with those two other hosts. So I feel like there's no job to save. I feel like she's fired. She's not coming back. So she needs to spill all the tea, in my opinion. And hopefully she does, because if she does not spill all the tea, like you've done two photo shoots announcing the fact that you're going to be on your YouTube channel. You even went, it was supposed to be on the 15th and you changed it to the 18th. Girl, you better spill some tea because we're tired of all these, posts on Instagram talking about you're going to drop all the tea in your confessionals. We want to hear the tea, Kenya. If you're not trying to do that, stop doing all these photo shoots and all of this stuff, hyping this up when you have nothing to say. We thought you said it all on the episode when you ruined your spa lunch, but we want to hear what you got to say. And on that note, guys, I'm going to have to end this live. I am definitely running out of time. And Aries girl said, it doesn't seem like they, okay, I read that one. And Cece said, Portia's YouTube setup is a mess. Even her house looks a mess. She has stuff all on the dressers. Portia is looking like a whole slob out here. And she says, if she's spilling tea, have a tea party. Oh, I get what you're saying. Or a tea house setup instead of fried chicken and a seafood mukbang. Portia looking like all she do is eat all day. Talking about she wanted to gain some weight back because she lost her butt. Girl, you fixing to gain more than your butt, okay? And Mama B says, I think Britt is probably sorry she came on. Yes, because all of her dirt is fixing to be exposed, girl. It was not worth it. I hope she got paid out lovely if she received a settlement from Bravo. Otherwise, it was not worth it. Like you said, Mama Bees, it just was not worth it because now your brand is going to be ruined. Your integrity, just everything is ruined because you decided to come on this show. Okay. And guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you did not like the video on your way in, like the video on your way out. I got to rush up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye for now.